Assalamualaikum and hi guys, so this is Management Accounting Project AA0023 Management Accounting prepared for Puan Masanita Matno. So without further ado, let us get to know our group members. As for the group members, we have FATIN SYAMIMI binti Syamsul Maizam, second one Dania Farisha binti Johari, and last but not least Nur AINA BALQIS binti Muhammad Saleh. So, as for the content, we're going to talk about the introduction, labor and indirect labor, manufacturing overhead, production process, cost calculation, selling price, break-even sales, and last but not least, the financial statements. So, as for the introduction, we are going to share with you some information about the owner of Batik Bakery. Her name is Nurul Shafia binti Nur Azman. She is 26 years old, a full-time baker since July 2020. Previously, she was working at a private hospital doing marketing and at the same time being a part-time baker for 2 years. And last year, she finally decided to do it full-time and quit her job at the private hospital. We've once asked her of how the idea of the business came about, and she said the idea of the business came about at the end of October 2018, which was right before her convocation day. During that time, she needed some extra money for her convocation preparation, as she loves to bake and she also felt pretty good at baking, so she decided to bake 10 boxes of cupcakes and sell it. She earned her first paid sale, which totaled up to Rm 300 ringgit plus right before her convocation. By selling those 10 boxes of cupcakes, she got to buy her dress, makeup, and other preparations by using the money she earned for her convocation day. The labor consists of direct labor and indirect labor. As for the labor, the assistant baker, it was paid 5 ringgit per hour and the hours worked is 6 hours per day. As for the indirect labor, it is the delivery rider, it is Rm 5 ringgit per hour paid and the hours worked is 2 hours per day. As for the manufacturing overhead, it consists of overhead, indirect labor, and indirect material. As we can see, the overhead, electricity costs Rm 760 ringgit per month. As for the indirect labor, the delivery rider paid Rm 5 ringgit every hour he works. And as for the indirect material, it only consists of kickbox and board, and it is only costs Rm 2 ringgit 50 cents per unit. Next is production process for 1 Biscoff cheesecake. Step 1. Prepare all the ingredients, which is Biscoff cookies, butter, cream cheese, sugar, Biscoff spread, plain yogurt, eggs, and whipping cream. Step 2. For the crust, in a mixing bowl, combine crushed biscuits and the melted butter with a fork until crumbs are moistened evenly throughout. Press along the bottom and sides of a lightly greased 9-inch springform pan. Use the base of a measuring cup and press it onto the crumb mixture into the pan to really pack the crumbs tightly down. Let the crust chill a little in the fridge while we prepare the cheesecake. So step 3. For the cheesecake, preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Step 4. Preferably, using a stand mixer, combine the cream cheese with the sugar in a large bowl and mix on medium speed until well combined and fluffy. Blend in the whipped cream, then add the eggs at one at a time, mixing briefly after each addition. And step 5. Pour filling into prepared crust and bake at 180 degrees for 1 hour, then turn off the oven and leave cheesecake inside for another 5 hours or so until oven has completely cooled. The next step is Step 6. Store cheesecake in fridge after this time period is over until chilled. Then you can go on to the topping and decorating it. Step 7. Microwave the lotus spread for the topping for 30 seconds, stirring halfway through. Make sure it to be runny and melted. Step 8. Pour the lotus spread over the surface of the chilled cheesecake using a spatula to spread it evenly. And last but not least, garnish the top with extra whole lotus biscuits, then place back in the fridge just until the lotus spread has set. Then the cake is ready for the customers. Cost calculation for one Biscoff cheesecake. The cost is calculated by summing up the total cost of direct materials, direct labor, and other manufacturing overhead. As we can see in the ingredients, the 300-gram Biscoff cookies, it is Rm 21 ringgit and 60 cents. 60-gram butter is Rm 1 ringgit 80 cents. 750 gram of cream cheese is Rm 27 ringgit and 75 cents. 80 gram of sugar is 25 cents, 50 gram of Biscoff spread is Rm 3 ringgit 50 cents, and 1/4 cup measure plain yogurt is 75 cents, 2 eggs is 1 ringgit, and last but not least is 150 ml whipping cream, which is Rm 3 ringgit 45 cents. And the total cost calculation for the ingredient is Rm 60 ringgit and 10 cents. So next is about the manufacturing overhead costs. As you can see, the total amount of manufacturing overhead cost is Rm 62 ringgit 50 cents, and the total cost per unit for one Biscoff cheesecake is Rm 60 ringgit 10 cents plus 62 ringgit 50 cents equal up to Rm 122 ringgit and 60 cents. So next is about the variable cost. The direct materials is Rm 60 ringgit and 10 cents, while the cake box and board is Rm 2 ringgit and 50 cents, which total up to variable cost per unit is 62 ringgit and 60 cents. As for the fixed cost, electricity is 760 ringgit, assistant baker is 900 ringgit, and the delivery rider is 300 ringgit, which total up to total fixed cost Rm 1960 ringgit. The production per month for Biscoff cheesecake is 38 units, and the total cost per month for the 38 units of Biscoff cheesecake is 4,338 ringgit 80 cents. So next, a selling price for a Biscoff cheesecake is Rm 180 ringgit. The selling price is determined based on the percentage of profit desired by the owner, which is 47.8% of the total cost per unit. The next step is break-even sales. Now we can see the unit calculation in cm and the cm ratio. That is all from us. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.